Deep inside our biology, the human brain is constantly scanning for the path of least resistance. From a purely evolutionary standpoint, conserving energy by taking the shortest physical route was a vital survival mechanism. Your body is wired to hoard calories and avoid unnecessary effort. But what kept our ancestors alive in a hostile wilderness often acts as a trap in the modern world. When we instinctively reach for the easiest option today, we routinely sabotage our own long-term success. Look at this flowchart to see how the shortcut trap typically manifests. It tends to pull human behavior down one of two destructive paths: the total avoidance of physical friction or the avoidance of ethical friction. To observe exactly how these mechanisms operate, we can look at a traditional village setting. A closed-loop agrarian community is incredibly efficient at exposing human behavior under economic and social pressure. If we want to understand how the instinct to dodge effort destroys potential, we have to isolate individuals in this setting and force them to confront the exact friction they are desperately trying to escape. Consider our first case study, Somu. While the entire village wakes up early to maintain their livelihoods, Somu optimizes his life around zero physical friction. He spends his days deep asleep in the shade, deliberately avoiding any form of exertion. The village headman eventually decides to force an intervention. He pulls Somu out of the shade and assigns him a job planting bananas in the middle of a massive field, directly under the midday sun. Somu immediately complains. He blames the blistering heat for his misery, fully convinced that the environmental setting is the entire problem, rather than his own lack of effort. Hearing this, the headman decides to pivot. He removes the harsh environmental friction entirely, moving Somu into a cool, heavily shaded area, and hands him an axe to chop wood. Within hours, Somu's hands are blistered and his back aches. He realizes that swinging an axe in the shade hurts exactly as much as planting bananas in the sun. The comfortable environment did absolutely nothing to reduce the physical toll of generating value. This chart maps out a concept we can call the exertion constant. Notice how the data creates a perfectly flat line. No matter how much you increase environmental comfort, the baseline physical exertion required to complete a difficult task remains consistently high. Labor requires hardship. Recognizing this unavoidable reality forces a shift in Somu's mindset. Instead of wasting energy trying to outsmart the work, he accepts that the friction is mandatory. Physical shortcuts are a myth. Dodging the harsh sun doesn't eliminate the effort required to succeed. It merely changes the nature of the friction you have to endure. Our second case study flips the variable. Ramu is a local milkman dealing with intense environmental pressure in the form of severe poverty, yet he maintains high ethical standards, refusing to overcharge his neighbors. The financial strain causes extreme domestic friction. His wife begs him to take a highly common ethical shortcut: simply water down the milk. She argues that a small compromise will provide immediate financial relief for their struggling family. The ultimate temptation arrives when a wealthy accountant approaches Ramu with a corrupt deal. The accountant needs 20 liters of milk for a massive estate, but tells Ramu to provide 10, dilute it with 10 liters of water, and split the stolen cash. Ramu flatly refuses the offer. He operates on the belief that extracting unearned money destroys trust, and that dishonest gains cannot yield lasting value or peace of mind. The accountant immediately starts laughing. There was no corrupt deal. The entire scenario was a test to measure Ramu's actual integrity before handing over a massive contract. Ramu's refusal to dilute his product secured him a premium, daily 20-liter order. By choosing to absorb the ethical friction rather than dodge it, his honesty converted directly into a highly lucrative economic advantage. When you place these two case studies side by side, the same pattern repeats itself. Look at this diagram. Whether you are watering down a physical product or demanding a paycheck without breaking a sweat, you are making an identical underlying error. You are attempting to extract a reward without paying the market price for it. In any community, shortcuts eventually reveal themselves. When a real test arrives, like the accountant's stress test or the physical demands of a new job, the lack of genuine effort becomes visible to everyone around you. Only the work that was actually put in remains standing. It is worth auditing your own routines. Ask yourself exactly where you are seeking the shade in your professional life, or where you might be watering down your output to avoid a difficult conversation. Success is not found on the path of least resistance. It is built at the point where you choose to lean into the friction.